This is a reflection on some footage I filmed whilst hiking and roaming around Tasmania with my friend Joe. Moments like these make me feel really attuned with what I'm seeking in life, and this video is a bit of a reflection on where I'm at in this moment. I hope there's something you can take away from it. Risk has largely been removed from all of our lives, from stepping into playgrounds manufactured for safety to being banned from the streets as children. We taught implicitly that risk should be avoided at all costs, and with that we are taught not to trust ourselves. So why is it so tantalizing to step outside of our safety bubble and engage in activities that could seriously impact our future quality of life? Why do we gamble like this? For me, it's because managing risk is a way for us to recognize our own development. So much of our lives we're distracted, thinking of the past, the future, of others, that we don't really get to see how we are changing and growing each and every day. By engaging with risk, we get to see how much closer we can get to the line of what we deem acceptable for ourselves, and the further we can push this line beyond. This is the line that forms our boundaries. In this way, we get feedback of our own growth and gain confidence in ourselves. This is what I love about risk. For me, joy is intertwined with embracing this risk, this shucking of fear, of boundaries. These are moments of feeling truly infinite. These are splashes of the humanity at the core of all of our beings, normally protected by emotional walls, but slipping out and making everything else fall away. Flow state, mindfulness, meditation. This is the joy that we chase, and when it's shared with the ones we love, it plays only twice as loud. I saw a quote that reads that we need friends because we need our existence to be witnessed, which I found narcissistic and depressing, but maybe it isn't completely false either. On the whole, I see friends as aspirational images, learning from the ways in which they have twisted their shape based on their lifetime of experience, the way that they engage with the world as no one else does. If media is often seen as a gateway into other worlds, opening our eyes to events and ideas we might never have experienced, then surely our friends are our gateways into other lives, or perhaps into our own lives. A beautiful opportunity to see the world you are so used to with a whole different lens. We never really know what our own filter might look like if we never look through someone else's. And that feeling of experiencing something with someone you care about, something that challenges you, something you've never seen before, something that will stay with you for the rest of our lives. Your lives. There are no words for that experience, except for that it's important, and I hope you chase it. Apparently, by the time we hit 21 years of age, the average human has already experienced about a half of the perceived time of our entire life. But what does our experience of time consist of, if it's not just our experiences, our literal time spent here on Earth? Research in this space has found that our perception of time is directly related to novel experiences, something fresh, demanding our brain to grow to accommodate it into our database. So are we all doomed to see our life flash by once we pass this tender age of 21 years? The days, years, decades blurring together into mush as we go about our sacred weekly rituals? Only if you choose to. We have complete autonomy over our perception of time, and as such, the perceived length of our lives. What keeps me up at night is the thought of looking around in my last years and just having to wonder where it all went. All the time, all the life. This is one hack to slow aging that is proven for every person on this planet. Seek novelty. This could be anything. Walking a different route to your bus stop, even if it's slightly slower. Visiting that tourist attraction in our hometown that you feel is reserved just for tourists. You might be an alpinist who summits deadly mountains for fun, but if you've gotten used to being surrounded by icy avalanches, maybe going to get bubble tea for the first time will be a stronger core memory in your mind than the top of just another peak. There is a joy and a humility that arises from novelty, breaching through the blanketing comfort of routine. I'm not saying that you should pursue novelty whenever you can, only do it if you want to live longer. And now that I've ticked the two P's of really bad YouTube content here, preachy and pretentious all in one, Let's get Gogginsy. I'd like to return to that metaphor that I used with risk, of this line that is drawn outside ourselves and serves as our boundaries, our risk tolerance, because our capability works in much the same way. This line is elastic in nature, and over time it seeks to draw in tight and eventually smother us. But it can also be stretched beyond its current position, and it won't just rebound instantly. We feel comfortable when we are engaging in experiences that fall inside our line. This might be because we have done these things so often that this boundary has learned to mold and encapsulate them. Again, these are experiences that look different for everyone. Could be watching a show on Netflix, or falling off your climbing project. Anything that your mind and body are used to. But as experience draws closer to our line of capability, the more discomfort we feel. That squirming, wanting to be anywhere but here. This could be talking to new people at a party, trying to paint for the first time, or even sleeping in a new bed. There is something inside us that knows we are nearing the line and tries to rein us back away from it. Personally, I find it super frustrating when there's something I actively want to do, but something inside me is holding me back. These are the situations where instead of skirting around the edges, we can aim straight at our boundary and intentionally barrel into it, pushing it further from ourselves. Going into an event and treating it like a game of how many people you can introduce yourself to, trying to paint the ugliest picture you possibly can, or even by going camping and sleeping inside a tent. All of these might feel absolutely awful, but by setting our sights beyond what feels so difficult, we target the fear at the root of our discomfort and make anything less than this extreme we've gone to fall well within our comfort zone. Doing hard things makes everything outside of those things easier, and when these are hard, things that you enjoy, all the better. We all struggle with fear to some extent, but choosing to engage with it is a powerful step towards controlling it. All the more important in the challenging environments that many of us live in. All animals experience low points and even depression. It's inevitable, and even essential for processing grief or other difficult experiences. But never forget that zoo animals experience depression in a way never seen in the wild. They've been removed from the environment in which they have adapted to thrive in over countless generations. It's no wonder they're freaking out. Now think what environment have us humans adapted for? Isolating ourselves from friends and family in claustrophobic huts is driving us crazy. As humans, we have certain needs. We need a sense of community, we need connection to the natural world, we need a story that explains our lives, why we're here. These things often go unmet because we've been force-fed junk values our entire lives. Junk like consumerism, glorifying isolating ourselves from community, that our suffering is our own fault and we need medication to fix it. Spending time in nature allows us to reconnect to what we need and what we value, so that we can prioritize these in our day-to-day lives. The answer might not be to leave civilization and go live somewhere in nature, but maybe it's how we can learn to bring the values that nature teaches us back to our civilization.